But listen, I gotta get going. Make a few stops. I just went to go see my mom. Came straight here. All right, man.
The Season 5 trailer for Raising Kanan really feels like the moment the entire story finally connects to the darker version of Kanan that we saw in Power. The biggest thing that the trailer confirmed for us was that Rock is indeed very much alive, and this completely changes the direction of the final season. In the teaser, Rock seemed angry, focused, and ready to destroy Kanan after what happened at the end of Season 4. The big question that we have to find out is what actually happened in that final scene from last season, and whether or not Rock actually got shot, or did someone save her at the last minute. One possible scenario is that Kanan never actually intended to kill Rock in the first place. The trailer makes it seem like he crossed the line, but the show could reveal that Kanan purposely missed or hesitated at the last second. It's possible that the gunshot was real, but the bullet either hit somewhere non-lethal or never hit her at all. That would explain why Rock comes back more angry than injured. In that scenario, the point of the moment wasn't Kanan trying to execute her, but proving to himself that he was finally willing to stand against her. Another possibility is that somebody else intervened immediately after the shot. Marvin feels like one of the most likely people who could have saved Rock, especially with him appearing to come for Kanan in the trailer. A few teasers ago, the big question was who gave Kanan the black eye, but now we know for a fact that Marvin gives Kanan a beatdown. For Marvin to be this upset with Kanan, he had to have likely either jumped in front of a bullet for Rock, or witnessed Kanan shooting her. When we saw Jukebox make a call in the finale of last season when Kanan left, this was likely Marvin. But if Marvin was somehow not able to make it in time, I could see him calling Lou. And this is where things are really interesting. In one of the earlier trailers, we got a shot of Kanan in the same outfit as he did in the finale of last season, followed by a quick shot of Lou in what appears to be at Rock's house. I have a feeling that these two are the same exact scenes, since the lighting is similar. If Lou somehow got there in time, I could see him firing off a warning shot to scare Kanan, but this could have likely ended in a standoff with both Kanan and Lou aiming at each other. There's also a chance the show intentionally misled us about what actually happened during the shooting itself. The scene was chaotic, emotional, and cut together in a way that left room for question. It's possible somebody else fired a weapon at the same time, or the shot viewers heard wasn't even Kanan successfully hitting Rock. Power has done this in previous series before, where the sound of a gunshot creates one assumption, only for later episodes to reveal a completely different chain of events. One thing that we know for sure is that Rock didn't die, as of yet. And by Rock making it out alive after the standoff with Kanan, he will officially be seen as an enemy, and not her son. When Rock tells Kanan that he's never had an enemy like her, it basically confirms that their relationship is officially dead. This is no longer a mother and son trying to repair things, it's a war between two people who know each other better than anybody else. And when you really think about it, Kanan has leverage over Rock in more ways than one. He could completely destroy her reputation in the streets by exposing the fact that she used to be Detective Howard's informant back in the day. And on top of that, Kanan could shake the entire family foundation by putting the word out that DEF CON isn't actually his father. Those are the kind of secrets that could turn the streets against Rock and change everything. Kanan also feels completely different in this trailer compared to earlier seasons, with him seeming much more calmer, colder, and more calculated. In previous seasons, you could still see moments where he wanted Rock's approval or struggled emotionally with the things happening around him. In this trailer, that version of Kanan looks completely gone. His line about having Rock as an enemy his whole life feels important because it sounds like he finally understands how much manipulation shaped his entire life. The trailer makes it feel like Kanan is done reacting to what was done to him and is finally stepping into real power on his own. And Breeze will be the driving force that gets Kanan to that final stage of taking control. The introduction of Breeze might be the most important thing in the entire trailer. Ever since the original Power series, we had been waiting years to finally find out who Breeze was, after all of the stories we have heard about him, and since his character was one of the key reasons Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy eventually become who they were in Power. The trailer presents Breeze as somebody calm and dangerous without needing to say much. He doesn't come across like a loud street figure. He feels more like somebody who understands the game at a higher level, and you can already see the influence he's about to have on Kanan. It honestly feels like this season is setting up the foundation for the future origin story involving Ghost and Tommy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kanan finds out the truth about Famous and Crystal's deaths, which could lead to Breeze making a deal with Kanan to handle Rock and Marvin if he takes out Snaps and Pop. The visual tone of the trailer feels darker than previous seasons as well. Almost every scene looks tense and isolated, with characters that are constantly shown alone, looking over their shoulders, or sitting in silence. Earlier seasons still had moments where the Thomas family felt united despite the chaos, but this trailer sets the tone of the complete collapse of that unity. Out of everybody left, Lou still feels like one of the only ones left within the Thomas family that has genuine remorse, which usually makes characters dangerous in the Power universe, because they become unpredictable once they're pushed too far, but at the same time, that remorse also makes Lou a prime target to being taken out in this final season. The last two trailers that have been released point towards a major death within the show, and since Lou is probably the only character that we have seen the least in the 3 trailers that have been dropped, it makes you wonder if Lou will be taken out. One thing to keep in mind is that we have never seen Rock and Marvin cry, other than the death of their mother, so there's a high chance that this could be the end for Lou. In my opinion, there will be 2 people that will want him dead this season, with the first person being Unique. In the final episode of last season, we saw Lou and Barilla kidnap Pranessa and their son, in an attempt to gain leverage over Unique for Rock. We already know that this will set Unique off once she returns, and this could cause for him to go after both Lou and Barilla. The other person that could end up killing Lou is none other than Kanan. If Lou actually saves Rock, and both him and Kanan end up at a standoff, this will likely carry over into the season. And you have to believe that after Lou admitted to taking out D-Wiz, Kanan still feels a way about it. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if either Kanan takes out Lou, or he ends up setting up Lou to be killed by Unique. This would explain why Marvin ends up giving Kanan the beatdown that we saw in the trailer. The trailer hints that Marvin may eventually become the deciding factor in the conflict between Rock and Kanan, because both sides trust him more than almost anyone else. But I get the feeling that once Marvin nearly beats Kanan to death, this will make Marvin Kanan's second target. When one of the main characters within a series of the Power universe nearly escapes a deadly situation that Marvin faced last season, that usually is a telling sign that their time is almost up. And just based off of that scene of Jukebox crying from one of the earlier teasers for Season 5, Marvin getting killed feels almost inevitable, whether it's at the hands of Kanan or the Italians. When you really look back at the scenes between Kanan and Jukebox in Power, something always felt off. They were family, they had history, and yet Jukebox never treated Kanan with any real compassion while nursing him back to health in DC. It almost felt like there was unresolved damage between them that went way deeper than what the show ever explained on the surface. And when you think about the fact that Kanan ultimately shot his own cousin to protect Tariq, it completely changes how you view their relationship. That wasn't just a split-second decision, it felt like the payoff to years of buried resentment, betrayal, and scars that probably trace all the way back to their childhood. It starts to paint the picture that Kanan may have gone completely scorched earth, long before the events of Power ever began. Turning on family, setting people up, and crossing lines that even blood relatives couldn't forgive. Suddenly Jukebox's coldness toward him in DC makes a lot more sense, because it's very much a possibility that we find out that Kanan was responsible for Marvin's death. Possibly the biggest moment awaiting us in this final season of Raising Kanan is finally discovering Rock's true fate. Ever since the original Power series, there has been a never-ending debate on whether or not Rock is still alive somewhere in the present-day Power timeline, after Kanan told Ghost and Tommy that he had just visited his mom's before meeting up with them, leaving everyone questioning what exactly he meant by that. With this season set on the inner war between Kanan and Rock, the question is whether or not Kanan will be faced with another chance to kill her, Or will someone else like Unique or even Breeze be the one to ultimately put an end to Rock's story? There's also the chance that Rock's downfall comes through the law, instead of the streets. If the truth surrounding Detective Howard's murder finally catches up to her, she could be staring at a lengthy prison sentence that changes the entire future of the Thomas family. That's what makes this final season so unpredictable. Rock's story could end with betrayal, prison, revenge, or even survival, and no matter which direction the writers choose, it's clear that the fate of Rock will be one of the most important and game-changing moments in the entire Power universe. More than anything, the trailer feels like the final stage of Kanan losing whatever innocence or humanity he had left. Earlier seasons explained why Kanan became the monster we saw later in life, but this trailer feels like the moment where he finally accepts becoming that person completely. There's a lot more that I will cover when I drop my predictions for the season in the next video, and I believe perhaps we might have already gotten an answer to a question that we have had when it comes to Ghost's father being killed. What were some of your biggest takeaways from the teaser for Season 5 of Raising Kanan? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for all things within the Power universe. See you all next time in the universe of Power.